Hey leaders, welcome into the sandbox today. This is where we're going to stop talking about culture change and we're going to expose the pink elephant in the corner of the room and start actually doing something about it. This is about stop feeding the beast today. And we're going to get into why you might not be able to build the culture that you want because you're holding on to old habits that you don't want to let go of yet. See, here's the reality, friends. You can't build a bold new future by dragging around yesterday's playbook. You got to let go of that baggage. And if you're still playing by cultural norms that you say you want to escape, that you don't want anymore, that's yesterday's playbook you're still playing by. And let me be direct with you. You're not leading culture change in that moment. You're actually babysitting dysfunction. You're creating the dysfunction you say that you don't want to have. So in today's episode, we're going to step into the sandbox and it's going to be fast, quick, and in a hurry because I want to get into the truth about what leaders say that they want to change and then how we're actually going to build a strategy to do it. In 3, 2, 1, let's get into the sandbox. So let's be honest. Leaders say they want change, but when it actually comes to building a strategy, when it comes to choosing that strategy, they often pick what's familiar, what's comfortable, or, by I'll say death by committee, if you will, right? It's what's committee approved. That's not culture change. That's culture cosplay. That's culture unrest is what that creates, quite honestly. Here's the hard truth. You have trouble. You will always have trouble creating the new culture if you keep leading like the old one's still in charge. Somebody needs to write that one down. Culture doesn't change by decree because we command it to. Those pink elephants in the corner of the room don't just miraculously disappear. It changes by disruption. They go away by disrupting what makes them comfortable, what makes them safe, what makes them normal. When we don't expose and call out those things in our culture that we say we don't want, we don't disrupt it, it doesn't change. And here's where the change for culture really starts. It starts with you. It starts with you making a decision that you're going to be different. You see, culture is sticky because it's invisible. It's the things under the surface that we don't necessarily bring a voice to. It's the habits. It's the symbolism. It's the things that we approve, that we reward. It's those templates that we've held on to for a lot of years. That's what builds our culture. It's the things that we reward consistently, right? Or acknowledge consistently, even when they're bad behaviors. I've seen that too many times. We say we want to build healthy, strong cultures where we openly communicate, and yet you have people running the meeting by an iron fist that clamp down on any creative ideas because, we've tried that before, or we don't have time for that. Well, how do you not have time to try something new? At least dialogue about it for 5 minutes. If you're still asking the old culture for permission to do something bold and something new, you're letting the enemy write your battle plan. So what does it look like? You're still requiring a consensus before making a people decision? Are you rewarding compliance over creativity because the compliance and the duck and cover strategy still gets the work done, but the creativity makes you uncomfortable? Are we saying that we've always done it this way in our meetings, in our conversations, and thinking that it's a valid strategy, that somehow that status quo keeps us safe? Well, it does, but it doesn't. You're not going to be a world changer being at status quo. It's not leadership. That's legacy maintenance. That's job protection. That's because I don't know how to be different. So I'm just going to stay the same. So duck and cover, complacent Charlie. That's what he's there for. And it really is about keeping you safe. And there's a whole bunch of research on why we do that, about why we want to be fueled by being safe. So I want you to stop right now over analyzing current culture like it's a crime scene. It's not a murder mystery. It's renovation. What do I mean by that? Your current culture, you can go in and look at it as though we can reinvent something new and analyze it like we're looking at it from where do we want to go, not the history class of where we've been. When we want to be taking that and building something for what's next. We want to be thinking outside of where we've been. Your energy, your strategy, your time should all point to the future that you say you want, not what you're holding on to and the baggage that you're clinging to from the past. You want to ask these kinds of questions. What kind of behavior does our future demand? What kind of conversations unlock that future? What's the first bold move I need to make to show we're not playing by the old rules anymore? What's that about? Listen, here's the Leadership Sandbox challenge for you this week. I want you to think about, list out all the rules, get up on a flip chart, get on the wall, list out all the rules that are the old culture, and we'll even say it this way, that belong to the current culture. How do those rules serve us? And how do they limit us? How might they be holding us back? Because maybe when we break one rule this week that belongs to the old culture that we say we want to change because it no longer serves us, maybe that's the first step to exposing not just the pink elephant, but actually inviting it out of our conversation. Maybe we want to look at who gets invited to speak up. Maybe we want to break that. Maybe we want to invite everybody, not just the same voices all the time, because you're shutting down creativity. Maybe it's how we give feedback. How is feedback delivered? Maybe we want to break that rule this week. Maybe we want to finally start saying, we don't do it that way anymore. This is the new us, because you've taken the time to plan out who you want to be known, seen, and celebrated for, and what that culture is in your team, no matter the size. I think that's the important piece as well. The culture you allow is the culture that you lead. I'm going to say that again, as that's a mic drop moment. The culture you allow is the culture that you lead. So stop waiting for permission to lead boldly. Stop hoping someone else will go first. Stop pretending that the pink elephant in the corner of the room with the purple polka dots is going to just go away, right? Be ready to live for progress. Love inviting progress versus stale stagnation, status quo. Build the culture you've been talking about by getting out of status quo, because this is how we've always done it. Get bold and creative. Start putting it up on the wall, what we want and who it requires us to be, so that you transform from where you are to where you want to go. Because in the sandbox, the only way to change the game is to flip the script and start doing things different. Listen, friends, if today's episode made you a little uncomfortable in the best kind of way, because you know you've got some pink elephants with purple polka dots, or just a plain old pink elephant in the corner of your room that you've been avoiding, you know, those molehills that you swept under the rug and you're tripping over it, those things. Yeah, if you're ready to do away with those because you know that they're there, then you're ready to jump into a new kind of conversation. So I want you to head on over to leadershipsandbox.com/groups. You can also get there, bondgroupenterprises.com/groups, and join the wait list for our next mastermind group that's going to help you transform you to build the culture, the team, and the business, the organization that it is that you want to build. Because you're going to learn how to expose those pink elephants, get them out, and bring in what's healthy on the backside. Because listen, culture doesn't change alone, and you shouldn't either. So come join us in one of our groups. We'd love to have you. Get on the wait list. They're starting up in September. And in the meantime, be willing to take bold action. Be willing to step up. Stop feeding the beast that you say you want to change, because you can't build a new culture with those old habits, with that old baggage. Let it go. Start a new habit today. Make it a great day. God bless you.
Thanks for joining us in the Leadership Sandbox today. It can be challenging to stop feeding the beast and start leading with courage. Are you ready to get serious about disrupting those old habits and building a culture you're proud of? Head over to leadershipsandbox.com/groups to get on the wait list for our upcoming mastermind groups starting in September. Culture doesn't change alone, and neither should you. Did this episode resonate with you? We'd love if you'd give it a like and a share. Be a part in helping us spread our reach to other leaders who could benefit from hearing this message. Also, subscribe to this podcast so you can continue to gain great leadership content weekly. Until next time, we'll see you in the sandbox.